Module 7, Learning Strategies. The goal of teaching strategies is to create autonomous learners, learners who can learn by themselves, inside and outside the classroom. Research and classroom practices are evolving in many directions to try to better understand and facilitate learning for students of all ages. In general, successful language learners tend to select strategies that work well together according to the requirements of the language task. These learners can easily explain the strategies they use and why they use them. Module Focus, Introduction. In this module, we will focus on some key features of two classes of learning strategies: language learning and communication strategies, and cognitive and metacognitive strategies. If we accept that cognition is knowing or learning, then we can say that metacognition is developing an awareness of and an ability to monitor that learning process. We will see that there is, in fact, a lot of overlap between all of these strategies. Teachers can help students develop effective strategies by identifying students' current learning strategies through surveys, interviews, or other means, helping individual students understand which strategies work best for them, and assisting students in developing a set of strategies that work well together rather than using a scattered approach. Number 1, viewing points: language learning and communication strategies. Some characteristics of successful, self-directed language learners are that they have a strong drive or motivation to communicate. They are willing to take risks and make mistakes. They recognize language and communication patterns. They use guessing and prediction strategies. They pay attention to meaning. They monitor and self-correct their own speech. They practice with the language at every opportunity, and over time they learn to think and perhaps even dream in the target language, English. Video segment number 1, Watch, Analyze, Infer. First, review the list of strategies in the manual. Use it as a guide while you listen to this teacher describe some of the underlying organizational principles of her classroom and the kinds of learning strategies she supports. What kind of learning strategies do you think are built into this class? And how are they evidenced in the things that she describes and that you see?
Okay, they have many challenges, like any group of people who live their, base country. And some of these kids are from war-torn countries. So these kids cook, keep the house. Some of them work part-time or many hours in order to help supplement the income of the family. So they have that challenge too, Then academically, the challenges they face academically are several. Their language in their country is their native language first, and then English is the second language. And when we say that English is the second language, the English is spoken officially, in offices, okay? So they are used to speaking the pidgin English. And their problems are kind of peculiar to them. Writing is another problem they have because they first of all think in their language, and then they try to translate it to English. And then sometimes along the line, they lose part of the meaning. Or sometimes they find themselves repetitious. Because back home, people use lots of proverbs and people repeat themselves for emphasis. And when they do much of that in English, they say, oh, you keep repeating what you've said before. You're saying again. And they keep wondering. And again, some of their spelling too. So that's basically, the problem, Writing, they have lots of problem in that. Speaking to, not as much as writing, because at least they have some knowledge of, spoken English from their country. Yeah, what goes through my mind is that these kids have gone through interrupted schooling because many are from Sierra Leone and Liberia. So many, that gap, they've lost out a lot. So when I'm teaching, I draw from lots of sources in order to, to help them. And most of the time, I start out from what they know already. Okay, like this folk tale we are reading. And you see, I try to tell them a folk tale, just to jog their memory. They've heard, if not this story, probably similar stories from their home base. So, and folk tale is literature. So we start out from the known, then I now move over to the unknown so they can transfer that. So I try to do that, with the students. So let's go to the next thing, which is small group pre-listening discussion. And as you can see, if you look up there, you will see that I put down the different topics you need to discuss in your group. Within 2 minutes, see whether you can list a few items. Group 1, which is Ashton and Abby, you want to copy it down, what your question is. Times you were tricked or betrayed, how you felt. The three of you, you need to talk, discuss it, and come up with a few points, okay? We go to group 3, Edward and Elizabeth Giassi. What you know about crocodiles. Yeah, what you know about crocodiles. Okay, we should wind up now so we can discuss, so we can share. We share it before we continue.
Our question was, time you was tricked or betrayed, how you felt.
Okay.
I think like when someone got betrayed or tricked, it will feel sad because you put your trust, and then you because you believe in the person and then you get disappointed. I think that one is not nice.
We now go to the next group. Group 3, Edward and Elizabeth. You want to read out your question?
Okay, you say what you know about crocodile, and we wrote like they live in the water and swamp.
Mm-hmm.
They are ugly animals.
They have.
They are what?
They are ugly animals.
Ugly animals. Okay. Ugly animals. Okay.
They have many long teeth.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Sure. And sharp too.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a rough body.
A rough body.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very right. Very good. How many? You're not done. Sure.
They have big tails at the end of their back.
Oh, okay. That's very good. How many of you have seen crocodiles before? Yeah. Either in pictures or many of you. They eat human beings too. They eat human. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
because they are carnivores, right? They are carnivores. Okay, that's right. They eat meat. Okay, they eat meat. Okay, very good. Let's clap for them too. They did a good job. Yes.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm, sure.
Like sometimes some people say in like crocodile tears or something.
Oh, crocodile tears.
Yes.
Okay, you know.
It's just like outsmart when somebody outsmarts you, right? They said when they do crocodile tears.
I do understand what you're trying to say. Have people ever heard of crocodile tears? Someone shed
Yes.
Okay.
Something bad and they ask you, you try to cry. Like you
try
to pretend. Pretending like
you're pretending like
you're crying.
You're crying, but you're not crying. You're just doing crocodile.
Stop crying. Shedding crocodile tears. Today, the title of the story we are going to read is How Chameleon Became a Teacher. And both the crocodile and chameleon, they belong to a class of animals called reptiles. Thank you so much. Reptiles, okay? Why am I explaining some of these things? Is to support the biology class you are taking. So let's get to the story. Are you ready? Yeah. And the lesson again, I draw on things like, biology, which is a problem which is a subject that many students have problem. This is an English class, but you could see that I tried to incorporate biology in what I was teaching. That was why I talked about mammal, the characters in the story were reptiles. I indirectly talked about the characteristics of a reptile, how they differ from mammals. So that's an aspect of biology that I'm purposely, injecting into what I'm teaching in order to, I pursue it from all angles. And I try as much as possible to, to teach them the various skills in English, the oral, you see the morning message, I put up the oral, the listening, then the speaking and the writing. Like what we did today, I try to incorporate all of these things, into that. And since they are ESOL students, students teaching English to students of other languages, we use lots of pictures. So pictorials and things like that help. And I used the movie because that one was very effective too, because one, students love movies, two, it's pertinent to, what they are learning, and they saw the crocodile in action. So at least it will set their imagination going. That time I was teaching what type of a friendship could a tiny little animal like a chameleon and a crocodile have? I mean, what type of a friendship? So it will set them thinking. I didn't want to give out all the answers because I gave them worksheets. I wanted them to think at home to be able to make some of these connections. But I used some of these, the overhead and the audio, the movie. I used them to, to boost up, as an addition, to help explain to them, so they can see these things in visual forms, and hear them. It will be more meaningful to them, Before the class is over, I try to make students, each and every one of them, talk or answer questions. I try to encourage that because if not, we can easily lose some students. Who knows, when I'm done teaching here, I want some of them to be in my place, pick up that marker, and be teaching. So it
Summary.
boost up their confidence. And
This teacher works with young adults. She incorporates many learning and metacognitive strategies in her teaching. Clearly, she understands her students' current strengths, needs, and challenges. Some of the strategies that she supports in the classroom include those for language-specific skills, for example, speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Those for cognition and metacognition, for example, schema activation, transfer of knowledge, reflection, and so on. And those that involve affective factors such as motivation, confidence, and a trusting atmosphere to encourage risk-taking and participation. Module focus. Summary. The focus in Module 7 has been on language learning and communication strategies and cognitive and metacognitive strategies. With strategy training, teachers should help students develop affective and social strategies as well as language-related strategies based on their individual learning styles, current strategy use, and specific goals. See the manual for readings and more information on this and other topics related to learning strategies.